Well, hi again. Here we are. We got a first quarter moon. You'll notice here that the moon is squaring off to the sun, and the sun is sitting right on the ascendant. That's an interesting situation. Seasonally, we're in a sort of a mild situation right now, but as the moon moves over to that Neptune trine Venus, we should see a little bit of a heat spike come up. And then as it leaves off that point and moves over to the Uranian point, we will probably see the temperatures dip back down. So we'll probably see a sort of a spike in the weather and then drop down to cool temperatures again during the week. So that's what this looks like. That sun on that ascendant really promises some interesting places to go as far as heat is. And we'll probably see that. And I love that Venus trine Neptune. That usually indicates pleasant weather. So we should have a pleasant week here on the West Coast. Up north, probably a little bit more rain and snow, but for down in the Southern California area, we're looking all right. If we move over to Denver, we can see that this has moved up just a bit. And so their seasonal temperatures will probably do the same thing that we're doing. It'll probably have a slight spike, and then as it goes into that slight spike, picks up again, and then drops down. So basically what we look at when we're watching the temperatures is what's the moon going to do? And you see here the moon will eventually square that ascendant, and it'll do it with a cold attitude with that Pisces there, and it'll go back over that Uranus. So for Denver, we can see that situation is basically pretty much going to be like California. We're going to have some weather there. But the thing is that because it's Denver, it's going to heat up a little bit, and that'll probably start causing some clouds, because heat and cool is always going to cloud things over, and so that'll probably start some cloudy atmospheres and then turn over around. But we can see this probably in the high 50s over the week for Denver. We can move over to Chicago, and I think it's still on the map. Let me see here. Is Chicago here? Yeah, here we go. Chicago is a little bit higher up in the elevation, and here we see a lot of different circumstances. I wouldn't be surprised when the moon goes over that Uranus and we don't see some snow around Tuesday. That's usually going to be the case, because the moon is going to give us some weather, and it's going to go from this and from the Uranian point, and of course it'd be squaring off that warm ascendant. So that cool, hot situation is somewhat stormy. So I would think that we're going to see a lot of clouds, a lot of cloudy skies over the Chicago area. Probably drop down to some low temperatures. I don't know if it'll be freezing yet, but it should be getting awfully close to that. If we go on over to New York, what we can do in New York is figure out that their cold season is going to do the same thing. Again, that moon moving over to that trine Venus is probably going to give us another heat spike, but not a big one, because seasonally it's cold there. So we're probably in the 50s, and then go down to the 40s and drop down to even freezing if that's possible, and go back in about the 40s. I would think we'll see a lot of overcast and rain in New York as well. Now the thing is that when we go back here to the West Coast, and we look at the circumstances on this end of the coast, Scorpio is still rising, so I'm not going to wish too many Sagittarians a happy birthday yet. I'll do that on the next week, when it's a little bit further in. We've got a day and a half before we get there. But Sag is coming. It's going to be a good time for you people, I think, and see how Christmas is going to turn around for you and get things going. But overall, being this is Thanksgiving, and I'm being looked at with a jaundiced eye to come over and help cooking, we're going to cut this short for just a weather program this week. The focus is on Scorpio on the West Coast, and of course we have that mutable staff sitting up here. So we got the fixed sign Scorpio, and of course Scorpio should be feeling pretty good about themselves, as Mars, their ruler, gone into Capricorn. It's exaltation. Scorpio, be kind, sweet, and gentle. You're known for being tough outside, but a sweet marshmallowy inside. This is usually a tough and sensitive aspect when you see these guys going. I love the fact that the Mars is in mutual reception with Saturn, both in each other's sign. So that makes for good turnarounds. So if you guys got something to do out there, this could be good for both Capricorn and Scorpio. They'll find help in the things that they're going to do. Other than that, I'm going to sign off. Have a wonderful week. Thanks for tuning in, and happy Thanksgiving. And those of you who don't have a Thanksgiving in the world, do it. It's not an American holiday. It's a day to give thanks for just everything. Thanks for your friends, your family, the people you know, the things you do, your job, all of these things. This is what Thanksgiving is all about. It's just not an American holiday. It's just that we like to make an effort to say, hey, give thanks to everything you know. Have a great week. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in.